Welcome to the Country Castle and welcome to my kitchen tour. I have been asked for weeks to kind of share my kitchen and how we function in this old 1905 Victorian kitchen. It does not have the modern conveniences you would have today, and we just made it work. And I wanted to share with you some of the ways that I have been able to utilize spaces in my kitchen, the way that I've been able to make it work for our family cooking for 10. And I wanted to take you around all of the spaces, the drawers, the cupboards, and kind of give you a peek into how I stay organized, cooking for so many in a very old kitchen. We were fortunate when we first moved into kind of like a blank space. All we had was this hutch, and it was actually brown, and I painted it white, which just brightened up the space. We don't have a lot of natural light because these are west and east facing windows. Making this white really made this room brighter. That's why I painted that. We also had a cast iron wood burning stove over here as well. Those were the only two things in this kitchen. I'm gonna take you around this area of the kitchen and share with you kind of what we've done to make it more functional for us. I'm first going to share with you this cabinet. I think it's kind of a mid-century modern cabinet that I purchased years ago at an antique store. And I did not know when I purchased it clear in Texas when we lived there that it would be one of the most functional pieces for my future kitchen. We actually have all of my baking stuff right here on the top. My bread and all of our baked goods that we need to store away goes inside our little bread heap. And then I've got my mixer here. I wanted to tell you a story about having this mixer right here. Years ago when I was making some bread, I had the mixer going and I walked away from it and it actually moved backwards and crashed through my window, and I had to have my window replaced. And then I just have learned that I kind of have to stay by my mixer so that it doesn't move around too much and like fall off the counter. I also feel like I need a better mixer too, that's bigger, that's more industrial strength. Like 3 days ago, I was mixing some dough and it literally fell off into my plant. And there's like a huge divot still in my plant from where it fell. And gratefully there was only a little bit of dirt in the dough that I was able to get out. But that's just kind of some of the things that you have to deal with living in an old kitchen and just not having maybe the proper stability of the counter below the mixer. That's okay, I just have to stay by my mixer. And I've actually installed a electrical outlet at the back here so that I can easily plug in my appliances. I also have my cutting board sitting back here behind the windowsill. In cupboard number 1, I have our calm drink, our protein, and then these are the accessories for my mixer and for when I strain and do my kefir. This is also a convenient spot to put my blender so that when we take it out, we pop it right up on top. In this cupboard, we have my toaster. In here, in this basket, are all the lids. This is lids to my Tupperware for bowls and some lids to pans. We also have our cookie sheets, large glass measuring cups, and our casserole dish. So that is everything that goes under here. Also, a very important component to this buffet is all of our silverware is mismatched. I used to have like the most beautiful gold silverware everywhere, but my kids have taken it and they've gotten lost in the dirt or down heater vents, what have you. So this is kind of our mix of all the silverware. Okay, the cupboard on this side, this is where I keep all of our containers to store food. I also have my bread pans here, some mixes. I love having baskets in my cupboard so that everything is easily accessible. I can easily pull something out when I need it. And that is what is in here. Spot before, this is where I keep my baking items. I can easily access my flour, my sugar. I've got my measuring cups here, my measuring spoons, my garlic, and my coconut sugar, my regular sugar. These are the ones that I use the most. We've got Sophia. Next, I'm going to take you through this beautiful hutch. We are so fortunate that we had such a large piece to be able to store all of our dishes in. In here, as you can see, we have my mixing bowls, I have herbs, and then we have all of the things that I don't use as much kind of go on top, but I do use them. I really don't have room in my life for stuff I don't use. When we first moved in, we tried to put our plates down into this cabinet and the plates were too large. So for a dinner plate to sit down in here, it wouldn't work. So I actually had my dad, who is super handy, and my mom, who's handy and creative, put in these stoppers with just a little bit of quarter round that we ended up painting, and now my dishes can sit up into the cabinet, which was just a game changer for us, being able to put all of our plates in here. Got all of our bowls, and I've mentioned this before, we have tile floors. So our floors, if you drop glass on them, it will shatter into a million pieces. We have what's called melamine plates. These are all plastic that look kind of like glass, which I love. But I did a partnership earlier this year with a company that gave me these beautiful dishes, and they've been hardy, and they are made of ceramic, and they're fantastic. I have those linked in my Amazon storefront as well under my kitchen essentials, but I love them so much. That is this cabinet, and I will share with you what is under these cabinets, kind of how else we use this space. In our cupboards here, we keep all of our little bowls, our lids go in here, our cups, our thermoses, everything that we kind of need out of the way but we don't need all the time. Here is where we keep our waffle maker, our more dishes for when we have company or we're entertaining. We have our air popper in here. Oh my gosh, it's the only way to go. Something about me is that we've never owned a microwave, so I do everything the old-fashioned way. These are kind of where we place all of these items that we need, and we use them, but we don't need them all the time, but they have their designated spot. This cupboard, I have all of my herbs. I dried marigolds one year. I've got my calendula that's been soaking in oil for like 3 years, you guys. It's probably gone bad, but I think it's beautiful. And some more dried flowers, some teas, some of these powders. I don't use them all the time, to be honest. Diatomaceous earth. Here are my mixing bowls, and then just kind of the other beautiful things that we use. Birthday plates. I had a friend of mine make me this one, and I love it so much. It is just fantastic. It is such a treasure. Is everything in my hutch. And now I'm going to show you kind of some other pieces that I used in this kitchen to give it functionality. I mean, I need this space, but I figured out a way to do it that would be beautiful and interesting. So I'm going to share that with you right now. Over here, I have a big dresser in my kitchen, and the reason why is because this houses all of the things I need for baking, like my muffin tins, my springform pans, my pie dishes. I love the look of this big old dresser in this kitchen. I just think it's warm, it's unique, it's something that you don't usually see in someone's kitchen. This dresser came with our house and we have utilized it in our kitchen. In this top drawer, this is where we keep like all of our mail that needs to go out, the array of sunglasses that I always find. And then everybody has the random basket of stuff. You know how everyone has their junk drawer? This is our junk drawer. I go through it pretty regularly so it's not too junky. And this is kind of the stuff that doesn't need to be seen, but is definitely needed, so it stays in here. We needed a place to keep all of our shoes that people kick off. We have these baskets under here that everybody kind of can put their shoes in, and it keeps it more organized, and it's an essential spot for me to be able to put my fruit here. I really don't have enough room in my kitchen anywhere else to put my fruit, so this has been a wonderful piece. And I picked this up with my mom at like a home goods store, and this has been amazing, and I'm going to show you the drawers as well. In these drawers we have leashes for our dog and some like outdoor items that we just need to kind of keep safe. And in this other drawer we have like we have all the work gloves for going outside. So it's just kind of convenient because it's here by the back door, kind of where you would grab them when you need them. Another very important spot of my kitchen is this counter. I use this mini oven. It is an extra large air fryer oven, and it is so amazing because I don't have to heat up an entire oven to bake cookies, or if my kids throw something in the air fryer or they want to heat something up, they only have to heat up this. I use this all the time. This also serves as a spot that I keep all of my cooking utensils, and it is the perfect proofing counter for all of my sourdough goods because we actually have a heater below here. The heater comes up right over there, right here, and it heats that spot so perfectly that my sourdough love sitting here. I'm going to show you inside this drawer. Knives, I've got my pastry cutter in here, tongs, my oven mitts, thermometers, things that kind of I need closer to my fingertips. We put this fridge in only this year because we actually had a fridge in the back room, and I will show you that room in a minute because this being in our main space has been such a nice convenience to be able to grab my food, take it to my table and bake it, cut it up, grab the cream, grab the milk. This fridge was just earlier this year. This is a smaller fridge and a freezer. It's a side-by-side. This is everything that is kind of what we're eating right now. I have another fridge and freezer in my back storage room where we keep a lot of our other food as well. This is just the stuff that we're using now. So I usually, when I go grocery shopping, I buy 2 of everything. So I have 1 yogurt here and I have another yogurt in the back fridge. And that is kind of how I have enough food for us to last for about 2 weeks. Next, I'm going to show you this space. This space, I believe back in 1905, was a cold storage where they kept all of their food so it wouldn't go bad. When we first moved in, there was a refrigerator here, a stove here, the dryer here, a washing machine here, and then you have your sink. Yes, we wash all of our dishes by hand. We have 1 small sink. I'm grateful that we have what we have. And this space has evolved over time where we had the fridge, a big fridge here, and we were able to take that out, and now we have a really good spot for our coffee. We've got our garbage back here. I now have a stackable washer and dryer, which gave me space over here for having coffee, more coffee, and just extra space to do ferments and things like that. And I'm going to show you my cupboards of where we keep our spices and kind of show you our pantry. This is where we keep like all of our spices. I keep my kefir in here so that it can ferment, and just kind of the vinegars and all of the seasonings that we need for baking and cooking. And under here, I have my sugars, cereals that we have open. This is kind of the open food pantry area. So when we open chips, when we open cereal, it comes back and it goes into one of these baskets, and that's the food that you eat from. I always tell my kids they cannot eat the food in the back because they need to eat this first. And this kind of serves as our organization for all of that. And I've got like my rice and my oats and things like that in here as well. It's a multifunctional room, which I actually love. My dryer and washer are here. We wash our dishes here, but my laundry detergent just goes under the sink, which facilitates perfectly for here. Hand towels and wash rags. We have parchment paper, plastic wrap, aluminum foil, like my covers for my bowls here. Our drawer of rags, this is where my kids grab rags when they are going to do all of their chores on a Saturday. And another drawer of hand towels, because we go through a lot of hand towels with how many dishes that we do. We go through them a lot, but what's so nice is the washer and dryer are just right here, so all of the washing basically happens in this room, and I don't think I would ever have it any other way. I will always love having my washing machine here. I love that it's a part of the open spaces and that I'm a part of everything all the time. And now I'm going to take you into our back storage room. I did a remodel of this room earlier last year, and it is such a functional, needed space for our family. So I'm going to show you that right now. It is an extension of our kitchen, so let's go look at that. Favorite things to do is create a space that's beautiful and functional. I want it to work for me, but I also want it to be visually pleasing. And so when I started out in this room, it was disgusting. It had gross flooring, everything was wood, paneling, very 70s. This was an addition to onto the home in probably the late 70s. We have made it like a mudroom space for us, but it also can have my crock pot, my Instant Pot in here, all of our canned goods, the extra food that we need. This is our mudroom. This is also our food pantry. We keep our extra freezers and fridges in here, and I love how it turned out. We always also keep all of our tools for the home here as well. This has just been an amazing space for us to be able to stay organized, and also it's beautiful now that we have painted it. And I always say that you can do so much with paint. You really don't need to spend a lot of money to make something beautiful. This is at Costco, and I feel like it's the most brilliant freezer on the planet because it is all drawers. Those chest freezers where you cannot get to the bottom and see what's under there just gives me anxiety. So we used to have one of those and I hated it. Is drawers. We have all of our frozen goodies in here, egg rolls, pot stickers. We love pot stickers. And frozen fruit. I also will buy bread and put it in here as well. I also make bread, but I also buy bread as well because we have a lot in our family. Butter, milk, eggs, sausages. We've got our extra produce in here, apples, all of that. And if I have a casserole dish full of food, that goes in here as well. Our other fridge is not big enough for that, but this is a game changer. We definitely need this space, so this is where we keep all of this. because my husband actually spotted it at an antique store. There was music coming out of it and we were like, oh my gosh, is this actually working? And they had a Bluetooth speaker behind it. This is hollow, and when you put a Bluetooth speaker behind it, it sounds like it's coming from the radio. So this was like such a fun piece to buy, especially for us. We love music. We're playing music in the kitchen all the time while we cook and while we bake. My videos seem like they're quiet, but I have music blasting. I don't share them on my video because of copyright issues, but we're always dancing, we're always singing. This piece fit perfectly right here. It's like such a treasure. So if you ever find a radio just like this, hollow out the inside, put in your Bluetooth speaker, and it'll be fun to see if your guests, like it really trips our guests out because they think that it's actually playing from here, which it is playing from here.
Hey, buddy, I'm hiding. Watch what you do when you come. Nothing wrong with driving. When I saw you in a fight, and my it doesn't. Watch you from where we know. Watch somebody be good.
That is my kitchen. I wanted to share with you some future projects that we want to do in here. We are hoping one day to put an island here. It would give me a lot more space to cook and prep food, which I really love doing. So being able to have more counter space would be so wonderful. And then we would eat in our dining room, which is just adjacent to this room. And when we build the island, I would have a sink in here as well. So I can cook, clean up, wash our dishes. I'm still undecided if I would actually put in a dishwasher because I'm so used to hand washing our dishes, and the beauty of hand washing your dishes and then just putting them away, especially if it's all in this space, is it's done. Whereas if you have a dishwasher, you're loading it, waiting for it to run, and then later you're having to unload it. And I just don't know if I want to do that. So I don't know, we'll see. We have this built as an island. There would actually be some seating on this side. Anybody who comes into the kitchen would be able to sit and hang out while I cook. And I'm also, where this big buffet piece is here in the window, I want some custom made window bench with pull-out drawers so that that has all the storage that this buffet is currently housing. And it also then becomes a seating area to just sit and hang out in the kitchen. Those are my future dreams for this kitchen. This table actually came from my husband's house. He grew up eating all of his meals on, and then I refinished it, and we have been using it for 12 years or so. It's a very special table. We definitely would put it somewhere that we would never get rid of it. But if there's anything that I've learned from having this kitchen and living in an old home, it's that I love the charm of things not being incredibly convenient, but making it work. I feel like it just makes you appreciate it more, and where you have the old farmhouse table and you're able to use the space and make it cozy with what you have, with what is already here. And that's something that we've been able to experience with this kitchen. I don't know, like I always say, like, give me an old house any day. I'm not a new house person. There's something that awakens in me of something old, that it's something familiar and it's something comforting and cozy. And I just love that. Thank you for joining me on my kitchen tour today, and I'm glad that you recommended me do this video. Keep commenting on more recommendations for videos. I love creating, I love putting them together and showing you kind of things that I've learned, but I am in no way perfect at any of it. I just know what works for me, and it's really fun to create and share that. I hope you have a wonderful day. We will see you in the next video.